Hello out there, and welcome back to another AIMBOT coming to you from the reading room. I am Mark Reed. I'll be your host. Am I morally bankrupt or them? Well, I can tell you. I gotta say, first off, a big thank you to my wife Lynn who did the thumbnail. I don't know, this thumbnail speaks to me. The whole thing about being a kid and swinging on a swing and seeing your feet in front of you and having that feeling, right? That feeling of taking off into the sky and like it's just a childhood feeling. I really think people should enjoy that feeling more, even if you feel stupid, kind of thing. Remember when you were a kid and you're swinging on a swing and you felt so free and like you just like feeling like you could just fly off of that swing into the air kind of thing. Just fantastic. I love it. I love that feeling, and I think that we need to be reminded that child still exists. But I wanna talk about somebody. Hello, Andrew. So good to see you, mate. Very good to see you. I think I may be doing a D&D campaign with you soon. I hope so. I hope so. I've got to brush up on an English accent for it though, which probably is going to be a disaster. But never mind. Never mind. It's fine. It'll be fine. I'm sure. But I'd love to do that, mate. Absolutely love to do that. Hey Jedi, good to see you, mate. And Stop the Stupidity was here earlier. His messages aren't coming up, but hey. I guess I can put the comments up as well. That's something I can do for sure. For sure. Good evening, one and all. And just for my rant today, I want to talk about an idiot, an Australian idiot, a big fat Australian idiot. This got me angry, and I don't want to give it attention because, quite frankly, this particular individual does not really deserve any attention, and it's attention that she's trying to get. So, but at the risk of giving her attention, and I've got something to say on it. That's the thing. Uh, I don't know. Maybe you're playing a one-shot game. Oh, that's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. Can I get on screen? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, can I put myself down here or something? I don't know. I don't know. It's all gone downhill. Anyway, yeah. So this comes up. So a while ago, this politician, Pauline Hanson, who has been around for ages. Now, this idiot, Pauline Hanson, she's an idiot, right? An absolute idiot. Just racist, an absolute, like, despicable racist goon. Um, I, uh, I think, I think that she has not had an original idea. Um, in her entire life. Like it really, she has no originality whatsoever. Um, it's so. Um, so it's things that she said. She says, "I'm indigenous as far as I'm concerned. I was born here." I mean, what an idiot! Like, what an idiot! No, that's not the breakdancer. No, that was Ray Gun. That was Ray Gun. Was the breakdancer. This is a politician, parliamentarian who basically says, okay, so it's very telling. It's very telling um, um, that that um, she basically has said, oh well, the Asian people will never fit in here, and they have. Like, there's no problem with them. Um, the um, the um, She's also sort of said, "Oh, the Muslims won't fit in," and they absolutely do. Like, they absolutely do. Like, Middle Eastern people won't fit. They absolutely do. Hell, I had a therapist that was Middle Eastern. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Um, and now, being an absolute idiot. Back in 2017, right? That is now, if I can do my math correctly, that is 8 years ago. She wore a burqa into Parliament, right? A burqa into Parliament. Like, wait, hang on a sec. Yeah, there we go. That's a burqa. It's not a hijab. It's not a niqab. It's a burqa into Parliament. Now, in Australian Parliament, oh hey Grunge thing, good to see you, mate. Um, and Left-handed Jedi, good to see you always. You can't use props in Australian Parliament. So this is a prop, right? Like you can't take in things just for demonstration purposes, right? It's not allowed in Australian. So those times when they bring in signs to the American Parliament kind of thing, it's not Parliament, the House or whatever, they can't do that, right? You can't use props. You can't use signs. You can't use anything. So she's just using a prop. The stupidest thing, you know, I think they've got a picture of like the people behind her just looking at her like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, it doesn't have it here, but there was a woman in a hijab. You know, I really think that the reason why she is doing it is because, and here's the thing, everybody, hang on, I wanna talk to you while I do this. You know, I wanna actually talk to you. Look, the reason why they are doing this is to annoy minorities within the country, and when the minorities get angry that they are being racist, bigoted pricks, they say, look, they don't fit in here. That's the reason why they're doing it, and it's annoying. It's annoying because there's no problem with these people except what people like her are doing to annoy them. And it's sort of this whole thing of, I'm going to be a complete prick to you. When you go, hey, stop being a prick, they're like, oh, you don't fit in here. You don't get it. You don't fit in. You're not being one of the team. No, fuck you. You're the one being the prick to these people. It's not right. Hey, like it is, the only problem is with them getting riled up by the crap that, and then they'll point to, oh, but this person was a Middle Eastern person and did something wrong. This person was an Asian and did something wrong. Guess what? White people who were born here do things that are wrong as well. I don't see you harping on about that. But no, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. How are you going to go contra? We don't care. How are you going to go? I'm not sure what that means. You can props. I don't know what that means either. You can propose. You can props. You can probs. You're speaking another language to me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can I give credit? Is it props? You can give props? Not to Pauline fucking Hanson, I'll tell you that right now. Somebody who I will give props to, though, I came across this short, and I had to sort of comment on it, because people like Pauline Hanson, who is the risk of getting my channel demonetized, is a complete and utter. Yeah, no, I won't do that. Look, just fill in a popular Australian word and you'll probably get where I'm going. But this is the shit that she tried back in 2017. She's trying it again now. No, the only problem is that you are being an ass to people and then expecting them to rile up, which they do, because of course someone's being an ass to you. But, you know, okay. So this is one that I found from this is somebody called Dr. Jess Yo, right? Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I won't get my stream demonetized, but you're absolutely right. Yep, 100%. And stop the stupidity. Oh, thank you so much, STS. Hang on, I need some more coffee. Got to bust out my announcer voice. Got to bust out my announcer voice. Sorry, everybody. Have to do it. We got Stop the Stupidity with 5 readerships. Thank you so much, STS. I really appreciate it. And those go out to Probing time 666 objective ethics. Actually, I'm trying to get a debate with objective ethics up and running. They're an atheist, but we have different ideas on morality. So I really want to do that debate. So objective ethics, welcome to the readers. You are welcome. No, I really do want to debate them. And so hopefully I'll get that lined up. Dave Cannabis, Joshua, Jamie, and Isandering person 6520. Yeah, no, that's definitely Isandering off of In Time, and I love the time travelers. I gotta say, I love the time travelers. They're awesome. You're here. You've been skipping your lunch break. Oh, look, I know that feeling. Yeah, no, it's good that your boss is looking out for you, Jess. You should have your whole lunch break. You know, I get you. And you're always welcome, Jess. So good to see you. Are we breaking stuff already? Possibly. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's do it. I'm game. Oh, and Jess, thank you so much. Gifted 10 readerships. Thank you so much, Jess. I really appreciate it. What a girl. That goes out to... you got to make me read it. That goes out to Vixikit 9795. Jackandra painting. Oh, Jacaranda painting 6031. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. KCA Randy Michaels TW7MDWD. No, that's an Ukrainian. Slav-Ukraini. I hope I said that right. David Howington 5449. Jasper. Ian Chen official. Sorry, I can't do too loud. I don't want to like blow my wife's eardrums out. But you know, Ian's fantastic. I wish I could do more for him. Ian is a lad. Let's just say that. Vic the chick. David Schneider 5422. I feel like there should be an R after that. David Schneider. That's awesome name. I'm used to Schneider though, which is the R, but that's Schneid. Yeah, and Grunge Thing. There you go, Grunge Thing. It's always great when someone in the chat actually gets the readership. But thank you so much, Jess. Really appreciate it. And hello, Ember. So good to see you. Hello, Jess. Hello, My Unfinished Song. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, where was I before all of those came in? And look, I love it. And winners, chicken dinners, enjoy your emotes, other benefits, especially the member stream. I don't have a member stream this week. It's definitely next week. But I will probably try to get a debate that I did on the last member stream. Yeah. Look, you know, I get it. I guess unpaid break. Yeah. You know, there's... So, I think that, you know, unpaid breaks, it's fine. It's fine if, like, so what I've seen in the past and what I've done is sort of go, okay, if you want to take, like, instead of a lunch break and lunch hour or whatever, you take a few 15-minute breaks here and there. And sometimes people that are, say, smokers really like that because then they can go out and have a smoke or take a, you know, a shorter lunch break and another few breaks here and there kind of thing. And, you know, be flexible on it. But, you know, if you can see somebody's working really hard and you're worried about burnout, especially with people on the autism spectrum, we burn out because we go and we get focused and we're in the zone, and autistic burnout is a thing. Learn about it. But yeah, just don't burn out. Just, you know, just put in, you know, 80%, if that. You know, that's awesome, Jess, though. I really like it. But yeah, we want to see you round. We don't want to see you burn out. And I know that autistic burnout, I'm not sure if you're on the spectrum, but that's a big thing for me, my wife, people on the spectrum. We have a habit of going until we drop, and that's not good. Anyway, this is sort of somebody that posted this, just a random person that came up. I love it. I love it. Okay, it's like titled "The Real Reason I Moved to Australia and Became an Orthodontist." Dad, they don't understand my accent. Dad, I miss our family back home. Dad, why are you working while we're sleeping? Dad, I don't fit in here. Yeah, it's so sad, you know, and you know, just wait. Dad, I don't know what to do with my future. I love that she like loves her father and, you know, basically says, yeah. So the reason why I point this out, the reason why I want to point this out is because people like Pauline Hanson, who is a horrible person, will say they don't fit in. Look, I was born here, and they are just as Australian as I am. I will not fucking hear any differently, okay? I will not hear any differently. Like, I put a comment in basically saying, you came here, you struggled, you battled, you found your place with your mates. You're every bit as Australian as I am. And I won't hear any fucking different. If you struggle, if you're trying, if you're battling, if you're a battler, that's, you know, and if you're fighting for, you know, to help people, to you know, assist your community, to assist Australians, then you're fucking Australian as far as I'm concerned. I don't give a shit where you came from. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're Asian. I don't care if you're Middle Eastern. I don't give one flying fuck, quite frankly. Like, for people to turn around and go, well, they're not Australian because they weren't born here. Fuck you. Like, seriously. That is a person who struggled and battled and made good and is now serving the community, helping people with her chosen, you know, with dentures and orthodontics. What do you want from her? What the hell do you want from her? She started her own business, like helping people. What do you want from her? She belongs here, and I won't hear any differently. Like I said, you know, a Middle Eastern person said, you know, I'm Middle Eastern, and I sometimes feel like people don't want. No, we do. Look, I had a therapist that was Middle Eastern. People that care so much about people. You know, it's so. And the only problem with people coming in from other countries and the culture is that they keep hassling them about not belonging. And of course, when they fire up, oh, they don't belong to the culture. No, these racist pricks don't belong to the Australian culture. That's the problem. That all they're doing is making people upset so they can claim they don't fit in. You know, it's like these ice pricks that are basically going around, you know, bullying and using tactics to upset people so they can go, look, they don't fit in. They're getting all angry. Yeah, I'd be fucking angry as well. Yeah. If I was trying to like immigrate to the US legally and someone was like, you know, shoving my face in the concrete, I'd be angry too. But they want to make them angry so they can say, look, they don't fit in here. And I think that is the purpose. It's because they can't, you know, if you look at statistics, if you look at actual data, they are actually less likely to commit crimes. They're less likely to be antisocial. They're more likely to fit in with the rest of society, and they are racists that don't want them there. So instead they want to make them angry, make them upset, and then say, well, they can't assimilate to the culture. No, you can't accept them being a different color, you absolute racist. And I tried to find the video. Lane Hansen, she was turned away from somewhere, and I was trying to find the video for it, but I couldn't. I played it once before, but it was great. It was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. But there's a lot of outrage over this, and rightly so. Rightly so. But it doesn't help when Sky News is playing, you know, oh, she has a point. No, she doesn't have a point. She has no point. She just wants attention, which she's getting, and B, she wants people to be upset so she can say how divided everybody is. Dude, you're the one dividing them. You're the one doing it. What a prick. Oh, yeah, here it is. So this is another short. I will get it up. So this is the same lady, and this is how I feel about her as well, right? This is how I feel about this bitch as well. My apologies. Just she makes me really frigging angry. I'll tell you that right now. This is at an Aboriginal fair, so Indigenous Australian fair kind of thing. Um, they were not impressed that she showed it. So she's been very critical of Indigenous peoples as well, right? She's been very critical of Indigenous Australians. So when she shows up at one of their art fairs, this is what one of the sort of leaders of the community and artists had to say.
Aboriginal people. Now you're kicking the Muslims around. You're just a racist redneck with your red hair. Go away. Go back to Ipswich and your fish and chip shop. Disgraceful. You're a woman lacking moral fibre. You are intellectually dishonest and you're not welcome here.
Yeah, so his point was that she kicked the Aboriginal people, like she hassled them, she hassles the Muslims, she hassles Asians, she hassles everybody, and then wants to show up when there's a media opportunity. What a prick. Like, seriously, what an absolute heinous prick. But yeah, that was my rant for today. I just cannot believe she is pulling the same stuff that she has been 8 years ago. Hasn't learnt anything new. Nothing new, just the same stuff. And I'll put up the link to join. Now, I wanted to talk to you guys, at least the regular peeps out there, about maybe doing something different. I wouldn't mind doing a call-in show kind of thing. I think I do very well with, on the spot, talking to people, calling up kind of thing. But I haven't really had much invitation, so I was thinking of changing this one to a call-in. Maybe I can save my rants for the member streams. I can absolutely do that. So I wanted to know what y'all think, and maybe I'll do a community post on it. See what people think about it. Because I did have my interview show as proofread, but proofread sounds so good for call up with proof of God. It sounds so good. I gotta tell you, the marketing writes itself. Call with proof of God or proof of Jesus or proof of the supernatural. That is gold. That is gold. I know, but at the same time, Jed, I think it's a two-way street. I mean, people do like to see what I want to do, but I also want to give the people what they want. As long as I'm happy to do it, I'm happy to provide it. I think it's a reciprocal thing, Jed. I think it is. I don't think that. A lot of the time I've just done my channel on whatever I've wanted to do, but I do want to. I do want people to be entertained and enjoy what I'm doing. So I would love to do that. I really would. I think that if people are happy to come in with proof of G, I think I can have that conversation. And I've recently released, I called it Kanisha Knows Nothing. You know what? It's a series of 3. I went 3 times onto her show. I think it's very telling, and I didn't really enjoy doing it and talking to her. But, I really think that she doesn't know much about, well, evolution at all. And I'll be releasing those as well. So I really am trying to work hard on other stuff to do. Still trying to get debates going, but I will release a debate for tomorrow. So keep posted, and we can. Your YouTube keeps resetting. Oh dang. Oh dang. Sorry about that, Ems. Call-in shows are great. Keep trying to get one working. Well, I mean, I don't have any call screeners or producers or anything like that. And, Ember knows the struggle. No producer, no call screeners, no staff, just trying to do it yourself. But, this studio can do that. So I think it's totally fine. I just have to be very, very careful of people, coming on and trying to, pawn bomb the stream or anything like that. It can be a problem in our world. So, which is wild, but, I'm prepared to risk it. At this point, I'm prepared to risk it. Thank you, Andrew. Well, I mean, I think my rants are more therapy for myself than entertainment for you. Like, really, sometimes I just got to say something, And I mean, the whole situation in the US, I decided to do something on Australia because the situation in the US is just, it's like, to say that it's the biggest, it is insane. It's insane to think. It's insane to think that you have a situation where, yeah, playing copyright music. That's another one. Yeah, absolutely, Jess. You've nailed it right there. Yeah, playing copyright music, absolutely. But it's insane to think that there is a president of the United States that almost certainly has abused underage women, or girls, really, young teens. I mean, it is to say it's the biggest controversy or the biggest, it is insane. It's absolutely insane. Like, what do you say about that? It's the biggest scandal ever in American history. Like, it's got to be, right? Like, you are talking about a level of criminality that is beyond anything ever seen before. Like, it's incredible. It's insane. It's insane. Hi, Al. Yeah, good to see you, mate. Prawns in thongs? Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see. Look, I don't judge. Yeah, but yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, I mean, he is a convicted felon, absolutely, and a disgrace. I will agree with that. But just the fact that all of this is coming out, and the leader of your country is a person participating in a human trafficking ring is what can you say to that? How can you, like, I do not understand on what's been shown alone why he hasn't been impeached and removed. Because in order for a leader to be respected, you can't have a guy in there who over half the country thinks has trafficked humans. Like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like, wow. Oh, he will. Yeah, no, any other person would step down. Yeah, absolutely. But that would assume that he's doing things that are best for the country, not the best for himself. And of course he isn't. Fine prawn. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think prawns have the kind of feet that can wear thongs, but never mind. Never mind. Yeah, no, our thong and your thong are very different, Andrew. Very, very different. Very, very different, my friend. But I'll get AIMBOT set up because, yeah, that's what you're here for. Or the rants, maybe. The rants maybe here what you're here for. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so we are aimbotting. If no one wants to come on and discuss, that's totally cool. Totally fine. Totally cool. Basically, we are doing Am I Morally Bankrupt or Them? We're going on to Reddit, looking at Am I the Arsehole? Now, I don't curate these. I don't select them ahead of time. I don't make sure they're any kind of thing that I'm looking for. I'm seeing them for the first time, as you are. I will have a poll saying who is the one at fault. I love to see people's reasons for who's at fault. I mean, you can easily say, hey, I think this person's in the wrong. You know, I think it's more important why they're in the wrong. What sort of structure did you use to get to that point? And you know, feel free to argue with me. I don't mind. I don't mind. Thongs are a type of shoes. They're flip-flops. They're flip-flops is what they are. That's thongs in Australia, is flip-flops. Oh, no worries, Al. No worries at all, mate. No worries at all. It's all good. All good. All good. Okay. Now, I use secular humanism to do my moral judgments. You know what? I can probably get rid of the picture. I can probably get rid of the picture. Hold it. I'm pretty sure I can get rid of the picture. Yeah, I can. Cool. Let me know if I need to zoom in a bit more, maybe. Yep. Am I the arsehole for being insensitive to my wife after our kids said they don't like her mum? Insensitive to my wife after our kids said... Okay, so they don't like their grandparent? Insensitive to your wife. I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't be insensitive to the grandparent, right? But at first off, I would say no. I mean, if your mother-in-law is horrible, then your mother-in-law is horrible. I don't think sort of blaming the kids for that is a good idea. My wife and I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. Since Thanksgiving is coming up, my mother-in-law arrived on Sunday to visit us for the holiday, then go to her sister's house. Okay. The day before she arrived, my wife told me that our 5-year-old said she wasn't excited for my mother-in-law to come because she doesn't seem to like us. Well, that's definitely a conversation that you need to have. Like, you know, why are you being mean to our children? Or why do they see it as mean? As in her and her sister. I don't know how that conversation came up because I wasn't there. 5-year-old also said she preferred seeing my mum because she's nicer. Okay, so they prefer one grandparent over the other. I mean, that's hardly unusual. Understandably, my wife was pretty hurt by that, but I didn't know what she wanted me to say about that besides, damn, that sucks. Well, I mean, it's sort of, she probably wants you to say, hey, you know, the kids need to bond with their grandmother more. I don't know. I can't say I wasn't a little happy. I can't say I wasn't a little happy our kids like my mum more. Alright, well, yeah. But I said it in a joking type of way. Yeah, no, I don't I don't think that would have gone down well. Like if they say, hey, we like your mum more, she's nicer, and you say, damn, that sucks. But I'm happy our kids like my mum more. I told her it shouldn't matter because we're talking about the opinion of someone who's still learning to tie her shoes. Well, I mean, yeah, but, you know, kids can often sort of blurt out the truth when other people wouldn't say it. When people... Look, at a certain point you learn that sometimes you just don't blurt out the truth always. Like, you don't have to lie, but you certainly don't have to say, hey, you're a crappy person to their face, you know, like, eh. But I said that after I was happy that the 5-year-old... But I said that after I said I was happy that the 5-year-old preferred my mum. Well, yeah. She called me insensitive and gave me the coldest shoulder that day. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Yeah, you kind of are. You kind of are. Like, I'm really sorry, but yeah, that's your wife's mother. Sort of saying, hey, I feel like sometimes she can be like this, and maybe we can talk to her about that. That's something you can say, but, oh, I'm happy you like my mum more. I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know about that one. I don't know. I'm not entirely convinced. I don't really think anyone's at fault here. It is an awkward conversation, and some people some people do. They handle awkward conversations with humor. It's just, humor about your mother-in-law being a terrible person probably isn't the way to go. I'll just say that right now. Was the poster right for being sensitive? Insensitive. Sorry, can't spell today. Apparently still can't spell today. Let me see. Yeah, so I think that I don't really think anybody's in the wrong here. I mean, yeah, there's probably better ways he could go about reacting to it, but sort of going, dang, that sucks. I mean, what else are you supposed to do, really? There's probably better ways to address that, but I'm not 100% sure there's more you can do. If, really it's on the mother-in-law to be more likable to the kids. I don't, maybe sort of saying yes, but she's your grandmother and, you should respect her or something. You know what I mean? Like just sort of saying, hey, um, I get that but that may hurt her or something, just explaining that, hey, maybe telling her is a bad idea. But, I don't see why the wife is giving him the cold shoulder. The Redditors, Far Quantity 6133. You're the arsehole because you're objectively insensitive to your wife. Granted, I don't know much about your mother-in-law. If she actually shows direct contempt to your kids, that would be one thing. But even if your wife's mum isn't the nicest, you didn't have to joke about how you're glad kids prefer your own mum. It's just not the way to handle this. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. My wife and I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. Since Thanksgiving is coming up, my mother-in-law arrived on Sunday to visit. Oh, this is the thing again. Kids are smart. Maybe instead of getting all butthurt, your wife should be trying to figure out why your kids feel this way. Well, they both should. They both didn't do that. So maybe both of them are the arsehole, But I don't think either of them is. It's just really find out why. Find out why. Why can't you find out why? I'm guessing that what the 5-year-old said was pretty accurate. Possibly, yeah. Why do you think so little of your daughter? You're the arsehole quite solidly for several reasons. The opinion of someone who's still learning to tie her shoes. Well, I mean, kids can be childish. That's the thing. Like, come on. Kids can be brutally mean at times. Don't, you know what I mean? Like, come on. It's just, yeah. You're the arsehole. Do your opinions of your mother-in-law and your mother ever get vocalized around your children, I wonder? Okay, well, jump to conclusions there. Not the arsehole. Your wife can grow up. My folks knew us kids preferred my mum's parents over my dad's. My mum's parents were more pleasant and took an interest in us as people, as long as they aren't straight up rude to mother-in-law. Yeah. I think that's where I'm at, kind of thing. I think that I think that's where I'm at, to be honest with you. Not the wife can grow up thing, just, it sucks, yeah. You didn't need to tell her it made you happy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it sounds like he's one of those person that jokes highly sarcastic, but sometimes it's not the time for it, seriously. Okay, what has the peeps got to say? Confusing title. Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Left-handed Jai said, kids see the things adults tend to miss. Yeah, that is true, but they also see things that are not actually there. So it's a mixed bag with kids, I must admit. You know, I was just about to say, I don't know many adults that have imaginary friends, but then I thought about Christianity and I went, oh yeah, that's right. This post needs a proofread? Yeah, probably. You know, maybe he should focus on teaching his kids how to spell properly. And Andrew says the same, lol, kids, blunt truth can hurt. Yeah. And I think that's what he means, you know, the opinion of a kid. Like, yes, kids can speak the truth, but they can also not speak the truth as well. Like, let's face it. And kids may not understand why one thing over another. Like, they might go, oh, wouldn't it be great if everybody had $1 million? Well, yeah, to a kid that sounds awesome, but back in the real world, you're really looking at the collapse of the currency. You know what I mean? Like, there's things kids don't understand. I'm just saying. You know, this whole thing of, oh, kids just speak the truth and they're these wise. No, they're not. Kids can be really, really stupid. Okay, kids can be and I know because I was a child. All right, like they can be very stupid. All right, I'm sorry, they just can be. Look, I'm not saying they can't be wise. Yes, they say some things that are the truth and are wise at times. Other times, not so much. All right, just saying. Depends if there's a cultural clash or not. I lucked out that both of my mother-in-laws were cool. Yeah. See, I mean, my mother-in-law, I think that I get along with her. She's very smart, very intelligent. You know, I think that there's a few things that tick me off, but you know, I wouldn't complain about her. She's great. You know, with all things considered, could be a lot worse, I guess. You know, just saying. Lol was about to say, all the religious people with the Sky Daddy. Yeah, no, I was about to say, you know, maybe kids are smarter. Maybe kids. Don't be so hard on yourself. No, I'm not being hard on myself. I'm just saying, like, when I was a kid, I believed a whole bunch of stuff that was really stupid. That's all. Doesn't mean I'm stupid. It just means I believed a whole bunch of stupid stuff. That's all. And Jedi said, skipped my molting phase and went straight to your adult form. Yeah, no, I believe you just wrapped yourself in a Jedi-shaped cocoon and then came out the beautiful butterfly that you are. Absolutely. I would believe that too. I would believe that. Absolutely believe that. What does the poll say? Anybody got a big poll for me? Equal. Completely equal. Yeah, this is a hard one, right? Okay, so let's look at this through secular humanism. Is, like, for well-being, what would be the best to do with the well-being? You know, what I don't get is that he apologized at all, right? Like, for saying, oh, I'm sorry that you took it as I was being serious. I was joking. I really didn't mean to hurt you. It seems like, oh, I joked. It shouldn't matter, and we're talking about the opinion of someone who's choosing to lie. Like, you know, that's not an apology, right? That's not an apology. Okay, so I do have some problems with that. But after that, I said I was happy that, I'm going to go with arsehole. Yeah, no, I get you. I get you. Yeah, can I vote? No. No one is terrible? Okay. Well, at least we've got a winner. Look, that one's really close, though. You know, I think it's just, you know, maybe find out if she's upset with you or just upset. Look, it's easy for you to go, hey, she's upset with me, and not realize she's just upset in general, and it's not really you, it's the situation. I've had to learn that the hard way. You know, it's something about sort of male egocentrism that when your wife or your girlfriend is upset, you kind of automatically assume it's you. It's not always you. It's not always you. Like, so when your wife or your girlfriend says, look, we've got to talk, don't assume it's you, right? Go into it with, well, I'm happy to talk about whatever, because it may not actually be you. I don't know, this whole thing of, oh, well, it's got to be me. No, it doesn't have to be you. Stop. Add. Here's a, hang on a second, I'll just check that it is actually a real one. Yep. Would I be the arsehole for refusing to bring $100 minimum to Thanksgiving? Right. I have no concept or frame of reference for this one. Okay. I don't do Thanksgiving. I don't know what you would do for Thanksgiving. As far as I'm aware, a turkey is involved somewhere. Somewhere. That is about all I know about Thanksgiving. Wait, is there pumpkins involved? No, that's October, right? That's like a Halloween thing. I don't know. Look, I'm confident on the turkey. Okay, that's what I'm confident about. My family and I celebrate Thanksgiving every year with my siblings, parents, and their kids. Roughly 20 to 25 people, including kids. Dang. People, including kids. My family is only 2 people. Oh, okay, yeah, that's the thing. I really don't know about this one. 2 people with 1 6-month-old baby. Not a lot of turkey eaten by the baby. In the group chat, it was decided that my nephew would cook meat since he bought a grill. Okay, so the nephew's grilling. He also told us that we could bring the sides. He chose to spend $300 on meat. Dang. That's a lot of meat. What, 25 people though? That's probably thing. Oh, you're jumping in late, Probin. You're jumping in late. Kids have no filter. They say exactly what they think. That's an awesome thing about them, and it can be extremely embarrassing too. Gotta love them. Yeah, no, I get you. I get you. I thought I'd... And welcome, Probin. Good to see you, mate. In the group... Yeah. 300 on meat for 20 people. That ain't... I mean, it is a little bit excessive, you know? Like, you're talking about, what, 12.50 or whatever a person? Roughly? I messaged in the group chat that we'll bring mashed potatoes. My sister responding that every family has to bring $100 worth of food minimum or help my nephew pay for the meat. What? You never agreed to this meat. What if you're a vegetarian? Like, what then? What if you're a vegan? Like, $100 worth of food. Dang. I mean, is that usual in Thanksgiving? Like, wouldn't you just bring stuff and, you know, everybody just shares stuff? Isn't it a bit like a potluck, you know? I don't know. But, I mean, the host probably has most of the stuff to put on. I have no idea. I'm not totally against the idea of bringing that much food, but just the way it was presented and the fact that it wasn't agreed to beforehand makes me upset. Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. The following day in the group chat, my sister said, option 1, bring food enough for everyone, not just yourself. That's fair. That's fair. Bring food enough for everyone, not just yourself. Option 2, help Thomas pay for meat. That is not how you spell meat. Not in that context anyway. Look, it might be how some people spell meat in some context, but not that one. But yeah, $100 a family? $100 per family? Wait, how many families are there? I mean, is he making a profit on this? Option 3, help dad pay the water bill, $200 per family. Choose wisely? Upset, I responded with option 4, don't show up. That's fair. That's fair. Am I being an arsehole if I don't show up at all in this protest to this $100 minimum rule? Yes. Yes. Kind of. I mean, if you don't bring any food, you can make food enough for a lot of people. Like, you know, as much as I don't like egg-based salad, like making potato salad is pretty simple, and you know, it'll cover everybody, kind of thing. But I think that if you're like really impoverished, if you're really poor, I think that sort of, you know, them covering you is a really nice thing to do. Update. I'm a teacher and she posted a picture of my salary she found online to shame me in the group chat. Definitely not going now. Okay, well, that's way out of line. That's way out of line. That is gross. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Right? Don't do that. You know, I get what he's saying. It is the principle of the thing. It is the principle of the thing that they're making demands of you. I think that option 1 is fair. Bring enough food for everyone, not just yourself. I think that's fair. You know, I mean, I can make a like salad and stuff, which can feed a lot of people. You know, potato salad is so... It goes a long way. Like, seriously, it goes a long way. Like, everyone can do that. You know? I don't know. I mean, even like just make a ton of green salad kind of thing, you know? I mean, you don't have to spend $100. So, option 4, don't show up. Yeah, that is option 4. Like, that is, if they've got a requirement on you making it, you have the right to say, no, I'm not coming. But, you know, also your family is you know, your family, you're sort of deciding for your family as well, right? So 2 people with 1 6-month-old baby. Yeah, so you're deciding for other people as well. But assuming they're fine with it, are you being an arsehole? No, you're not. But it's not really $100 minimum rule. It's a, you know, make enough for everybody rule, which I think is fair enough if you are going to something like that. And if you seriously have economic problems, because just because you have like a salary doesn't mean you don't have economic problems. That's the thing. You know, unless you put up the salary and mortgage and bills and work it all out. Like, this is the thing. People can say, oh, well, look at their salary. They make a lot. Yeah, they might have a large mortgage as well. Stop making assumptions. So I kind of think everybody's being an arsehole here. Just because, like, seriously, you could just go, oh, well, I can, you know, I'm going to make enough food for everybody, sure. I mean, 25 people is a lot, but it only has to be, like, a small side dish for those people. Like, you don't have to make a feast for people. It's just, you know, look, enough coleslaw to cover some for everybody. Like, just a tiny bit for everybody, right? That's it. That's all. Coleslaw is like cabbage and carrot and just some dressing on it kind of thing. You know, cucumber if you're feeling really hot. It's so easy to do, and it is ridiculously cheap. And quite frankly, I love coleslaw. I love coleslaw is awesome. I will take coleslaw, quite frankly. Coleslaw is great. I just make some fucking coleslaw. It's just cabbage and carrot and onion and shit. Like, seriously, the cheapest stuff you could ever imagine. Like, stop. She's not saying you have to spend $100. She's just saying bring enough food. I kind of think everybody's just being a complete cock here, quite frankly. I really do. I really do. Like, seriously, why get bent out of shape about it? Oh, hey, Proben Time. Love your stuff. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. No, I'll try to have more stuff coming out, Proben. I realize I've had a bit of a lull recently, but I do have a debate coming out tomorrow that I did last week in the member stream. So if you do want the jump on debates and random stuff happening, because that was random, be a member. There you go. That'll fix it. But a poll. Let's get pole dancing. But thank you, Proben. It means a lot to me, mate. Look, sometimes I do get into the sort of, you know, oh, what am I doing here? What am I doing? Like, what the hell are we doing here? Seriously. And you know, I want to make a difference. I want to do something that makes a difference. And so, you know, I try to do whatever I can. I really do. But you know, I'm just a one dude. Was the poster right? Oh, well, I guess it's would the poster be right? Would the poster be right for skipping? Oops. Skipping Thanksgiving. Now, you'd have to inform me. Like, Thanksgiving is a big deal, right? Like, that's a really big deal. I wouldn't see it as I wouldn't see it as obligatory to go, but as far as I understand, it's like Christmas. It's like, you know, families are kind of expected to get together. I don't know. Someone let me know. So, and yeah, I mean, if she posted a picture of your salary, yeah, that is, do not do that to people. Okay, don't do that to people. Like, some things are well out of line. Okay, I know a guy that was having a beef with somebody, right, and he lost his job, and that person mocked him for losing his job because, you know, he was being nasty to my friend. And I said to my friend, look, I'm your friend, but don't ever, ever do that. Don't ever mock someone for losing their job. Okay, it doesn't matter how angry you are with them, it's wrong. Okay, that is I've lost jobs before, I've been made redundant, it's a bad place to be. Okay, don't do that. There is no excuse for a behavior like that. Same with finding someone's salary and posting it online, finding someone's address and posting it online. Like, I get people accidentally dox people, like they accidentally give out information they shouldn't. This isn't that. This is absolutely horrible. Do not do that. Ever. Ever. But you are kind of being an asshole with, you know, oh, we want you to bring food enough for everybody, not just yourself. So the reason why I say that, right, is that, so these rules only really tend to get brought up when they have been violated before, right? Like if you're going into a hotel and it says, do not throw the lawn chairs in the pool, you go, oh, somebody in the past has thrown lawn chairs into the pool, right? Like, that's happened before, or else they wouldn't have to put a sign up. Like, you can guarantee that some idiot has done that before because the sign is there saying don't do it. I think this is like that. You know, probably the only reason she's putting that up is because people have just brought food for themselves and gone, oh, well, I didn't realize we had to share with everybody. And, you know, it's been unfair. So that's why I think she's sort of saying it. But, you know, I get that you didn't agree to it. But, you know, if you're going to a family dinner and you go, can I bring anything? And they say, yeah, you know, just bring some sides. You don't just bring sides for yourself, right? Like, you don't usually have to say that. Maybe there's somebody in the family it's really being directed against. Like, come on now. I don't understand. Wow. I just think, yeah, you didn't agree to it beforehand, but who would, like, I just think that that's obvious, right? That's obvious. If you're bringing food to a family gathering, that you're bringing more than just for your own, you know, close family. You're bringing enough to share with others. I think that's you know, definitely something. Yeah, keep heads up. Yeah, it was a 2-on-2 with Leo Filius. So yeah, that was good. Owllock says, not the arsehole. This is a potluck, not a charity dinner. If your nephew couldn't afford to buy the meat, he shouldn't have brought it. He shouldn't have bought it. That's a good point. I gotta say, Owllock, that's a good point. This is a potluck, not a charity dinner. Yeah. The math isn't mathing. $300 divided amongst 25 people is not $100 per family. Well, we don't know how big the families are, right? But yeah, as I said, you know, I don't know. But, you know, when you say per family, if he's just got 2 people and a baby and the other people have, you know, 10 people in their family, that is a bit of a problem. I get you. But, you know, you could just make sides for people. Oh, more replies? Do we have more replies though? No, okay. I've been lied to. It's all a game to these people in Am I the Arsehole? Oh, sorry. Don't forget petty option number 5. Buy $100 worth of mashed potato ingredients and show up with 50 pounds of mashed potato. Not the arsehole. $100 worth of sides per family is obscene and far too much food. Well, she did just say, hey, bring enough for everybody. I'm just saying, like, you know, coleslaw for 20 to 25 people is not $100. Like, I can guarantee you. It'll only be like, you know, maybe $20. I don't, you know... Edit to add, not the arsehole. I have never in my life seen a water bill over $200. Your sister sounds like a controlling arsehole. Yeah, maybe you're right. 20 to 25 adults, not including kids. If every adult brings a dish to share, there should be plenty of food to go around. Yeah, absolutely. Choose wisely would have had me staying at home. Enjoy the peace and quiet of my living room for free, not the arsehole. Yeah. Yeah, that is a bit aggressive. A passive-aggressive is choose wisely, yeah. I don't know. I still think he's being a bit of an arsehole, though. Your sister posting your salary. Well, absolutely. I'm not questioning that. Like, absolutely. I'm certainly not questioning that. You know... Well, it's not. It's $100 per family, right? So, obviously, there's 3 families. And, you know, the son spent $300 on meat. That's a lot of meat. I gotta say. That's a lot of meat. But, you know, I think that the fact is that if there's 20 to 25 people and he's got 3 of those people, you know, $100 for him and his wife and his baby, which the baby isn't going to be eating much meat, probably. I mean, I don't know what kind of, you know, carnivorous baby you people are producing, but I wouldn't imagine that the baby's eating a lot of meat. That, you know, $100 but just between the 2 of them is pretty expensive, considering that, like I said, if you've got 10 people in your family, that's only $10 each, while you're paying 50. That's sort of, you know, I feel like it's set up to disadvantage the smaller family, and that kind of sucks. Not the arsehole. That choose wisely would have ticked me off. They did this to themselves and can't just drop it on you, expect it to be your problem too. Look, I mean, I wouldn't worry about it. I would just cook a ton of coleslaw. I would also choose option 4. Choosing to host a holiday isn't about breaking even. $600 water bill from one holiday? Not the arsehole. $300 is... I spend 59 cents a pound on a frozen turkey and be cooking it in a smoker. Maybe there's a smoking tax. I don't know. And I mean, he's not even chosen the meat. There's a big difference between, like, porterhouse steak and, you know, chicken. So I don't know what meat it is as well. Let's see what the peeps have to say. I've never had a family member demand cash for Thanksgiving. What does their giving of thanks work? How does their giving of thanks work? I don't know. I thought you just had to be generally thankful. You know, wasn't it like they were thankful to the Native Americans for giving them food during a famine or something, and in reality, like, behind the scenes, they kind of just took the food when, you know, kind of thing. Yeah, never, yeah. Pumpkin pie, pumpkin bread. Once I tried a pumpkin sausage. Okay, well, you're braver than I am. No, well, pumpkin sausage. You know what? Yeah, I don't have a problem with pumpkin. I really don't. You know, roast pumpkin is really good. Like, when it caramelizes. Oh, it is fantastic, I gotta say. Left Hand Joe says, growing up, our Thanksgiving was huge. Nearly 100 people, including in-laws. Dang. That is a lot of thanks. That's a lot of thanks. Sausage. Okay. It's $29 a plate. That's expensive. Yeah, that's expensive for that. Yeah. That's kind of... Or $20 a plate? That's a little bit more reasonable, but quite frankly, it still seems like a bit much. If there's 20ish, how about $5 or $10 per person? Well, yeah, I mean, $5 or $10 per person. You know, I feel like they're saying by the family because they're in the big family. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting suspicious in my old age. Yeah, agree. You never post stuff like that, then expect to have a happy when you get together. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You don't post somebody's salary and then go, well, you know, that'll be fun to see them at the next family meetup. Oof. Oof. Sausage, pumpkin, both could work. It was. Oh, and Mr. MacTime. Good to see you. Good to see you. It is a major holiday, but the older I get, the more I tend to take a pass. That's fair. That's fair. Platypus is our world's version of a chimera. Well, it does have poison. It is venomous. The male has a poisonous spur behind their rear sort of flipper thing, claw kind of thing. Wild, hey? It's like only one of two warm-blooded creatures that are venomous. I think the other's the shrew, I believe. Thanksgiving used to be a bigger deal when it died off after the millennia. Okay. At least from the perspective of my angle of people around here. Oh, next we'll have to save Christmas. I'm doing 2 Thanksgivings, but I'm spent $80. I'm very poor, but $100 per person. Yeah, per family. But that, no, you're still right. It's still pretty expensive. Poster can do what a part does. Yeah, no, damn autocorrect. Yeah, no, I get you. But basically, they can do what they want. Yeah, I get what you want. I get what you're trying to say. I mean, they can, but really, the whole idea of am I the asshole is what we ought to do. Like, what would make us morally incorrect and what would make us morally correct. So, because morals is just what we ought to do. That is all. But yeah, if somebody is posting my my salary online, I ought to stay away from that gathering because it will not go well. I will have words for that person, absolutely. So I think that is actually, you know, the moral thing to do because holy crap. 1.25 125-pound turkey is $22 if you shop a bit. Sides for an army, another $40 plus a bit more for drinks and whatever. Yeah. The story behind it. Yeah, the story behind Thanksgiving is so whitewashed. Yes, I've heard. Hello, Robin. That's weird. Hello, Pumpkin. Okay, the original Thanksgiving was the Constitution was in fact there was a Bill of Rights and the world was at peace at last. The Pilgrim myth came later. Okay, got you. I don't know about the took food part, but yes, the Native American helped the Pilgrims, so they gave thanks. Probably was a myth. Okay, gotcha. MAGA math? Andrew says, our family, just everyone makes something and want to, if they want to, and they gather and we eat and drink and such. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like Christmas here. We just, you know, throw them whatever. Look, I will die on that hill of coleslaw. All right. I will die on the coleslaw hill. Okay. Hello, Tori. So good to see you. So good to see you. It's just the rents and my sis. Gotcha. Hey, man, family is who acts like family, in my opinion. In my opinion. Oh, MAGA math is an oxymoron. Well, it isn't, but, you know, it certainly is not the same as our math. Very shrewd of it to keep to the poison to itself. Well, it distributes it. I mean, it's just how it hunts. I believe it's like really focused on insects and stuff like that. The Pilgrims and the locals did the harvest thing. With the first Thanksgiving mythology, didn't come. Oh, okay. Interesting. Hey, Beamsy. Good to see you. A spur and sac, venom sac, slow loris, Egyptian mole, water shrew. Oh, okay. So there are others. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Mark wants to die on a hill of coleslaw. Noted. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So if ever I find myself on a hill of coleslaw, I know that my death is imminent. Okay, we'll do one more. It's basically pre-Christmas. Yeah, so I've heard that, like, this month is like, you know, hell on diets because you've got, you know, Thanksgiving and Christmas so close together. We just, you know, don't do Thanksgiving at all. Like, I guess we've got Australia Day, but I don't really celebrate that one. But we'll do one more. American John. I wonder where he's from. Hey, that's we've already done that one. Just make sure this is not closed up. It's good. Okay. Am I the arsehole? Oh, how'd the poll come out, by the way? Poster is in the right. Yeah, no, I can see that. He's definitely more in the right than the other side. I just think he could have handled it a lot better, quite frankly. Am I the arsehole for basically kicking my husband's cousins... my husband's cousin's aunt's sister's former roommate out because my husband refuses to embarrass him? Husband's cousin out because my husband refuses to oh, so he refuses to embarrass him for living, like, having to live with you? No, you're not. Like, if someone's a problem in your house, like, it doesn't matter if they're embarrassed or not. If it's causing a problem, it's causing a problem. Like, you need to address that shit. You can't, like, so there's a difference between supporting people, which is good. Supporting people is good, and rescuing people. So supporting people is when you can help people, and it doesn't negatively impact your life to a undue amount, like a large amount. It's just something you go out of your way, you help people. Oh, I like supporting people, sure. When you're rescuing them, it really does affect your life negatively. So sort of trying to, you know, put someone up in your house, for instance, that's making you go insane, but you know, you don't want to kick him out because you want to support him. You're not supporting them, you're rescuing them. You're providing for somebody at a vast detriment to yourself. It's not good. It's not good. Because if you continue down that route, you will suffer, and then your life will be affected unduly. You may collapse, you may not have a, you know, good time. You just are going to destroy yourself trying to save somebody else. You know, it's noble, I'll grant you, not particularly useful, destroying yourself to help somebody else who may not even be helped. You can't do it. Like, don't get me wrong, supporting people, even if that's going out of your way and to slight detriment, that's fine. You know, that's totally fine, as long as you can be happy with the decision, it's not negatively affecting you to any large degree, that's fine. But be wary of killing yourself trying to help somebody else. You can't do that. Because if you kill yourself trying to help someone else, well, there goes my monetization, but you're not going to ever be able to help anybody ever again, including yourself. So don't do that. Don't do that. It sucks, I know. It sucks, and a lot of people feel the obligation to, but you have to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you cannot even support anybody else. It's not tenable. It just isn't. And that sucks, I get it. Beautiful recover. Now, that's beautiful. Okay. I'm going to upvote that because I feel like it. Okay, am I the arsehole? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here. Well, I mean, I look at the American political system at the moment and I feel the same. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Am I taking crazy pills, or is that man Yep. So I need to make an outside perspective because my husband is making me feel like a controlling monster. Okay. There's a lot to break down there, actually. Nobody makes you feel anything, okay? It's kind of like somebody can trigger those feelings within yourself, but nobody really makes you feel anything. I get that people can be manipulative, and I'm certainly not discounting that. People can, know what feelings to trigger in order to, or actions to take to trigger things within you. And I get that. It's just giving up control over your feelings to other people. It just isn't a good thing to reinforce. You want to say that, hey, when they do that, I feel like this. And that's more, because when you get into conversations with people and you say, well, you make me so angry, we all know what it means, right? But it's kind of that, well, I'm putting my emotions under your responsibility to change. And that's not how we should frame things, or at least that's not how I frame things. When talking to people, I do like to say, when you do this, I feel angry. So it's less accusatory and more just, hey, one thing causes the other. And then look at why that is happening. Hey, that's just me. That's just, one YouTuber's totally uninformed opinion. Just saying. I, 26, and my husband, 33, have 2 kids. So the question is, why do you feel like that? Like, is it because of what he says, and what does that reflect with you? It may be that he is manipulating your emotions. That may be the case. It might also be, say, an insecurity within you, or you feel vulnerable about something. 26 female and my husband, 33 male, have 2 kids, a 4-year-old boy and a 1-year-old girl. That's a lot of responsibility. We do okay money-wise, nice house, suburbs, etc. My husband works crazy hours in finance, so he's gone most of the day. I work from home as a project manager. Oh, well done. People seem to think work from home means I sit around. No. Sit around watching Netflix? No, absolutely not. But I'm actually working. It's stressful. Yeah, no, that's not what that means. That is not what that means. I've worked from home. To be honest with you, I kind of like going in to work more than working from home. I've done both. I would prefer to work with a team at a location than work online. Weird, isn't it? Since I'm like sitting here doing online stuff. But I would prefer, with all things being equal, I would prefer to actually go to a place of business and have a team and, do the entire thing. But that's okay. That's all right. It's not like I'm really opposed to it. It's just I noticed I prefer that. 2 months ago, husband cousin's Greg, 27 male, moved in. He lost his job, apartment, and needed a place to crash to get back on his feet. I said yes because honestly thought, hey, another adult around might help. Maybe he can watch the baby while I pee. Sure, yeah. I mean, that seems like a reasonable thing. Place to crash to get back on his feet. How long has he been there is the question. Huge mistake. Huge, with a capital H. Greg is basically a phantom teenager. He sleeps till noon. That's not great. That's not great. Yeah. The only time I get that some people have weird sleep schedules. Totally get it. Totally understand it. If you're looking for if he lost his job and he's looking for another job, sleeping till noon is not the way. That is not the way. You need to have a sleep schedule that's in line with if he works night shift, for instance, I totally accept that. Totally accept it. In fact, he probably should sleep later than noon, all things being equal. If he's a shift worker, fine. But if he's not, and he's looking for a job in business, retail, communications, telecommunication, any of the usual jobs, that's not cool. Eats all the snacks I buy for the kids. I literally hid fruit snacks in my bedroom. Oh, damn. Now that's just stealing candy from babies. That's just stealing candy from babies, literally. And leaves dishes everywhere. Yeah, that's not cool. The other day I walked into the kitchen and he was making a sandwich on the counter. Oh my God, no. That's what. Look, chopping boards will be just there, my guy. Like, seriously? Left the crusts and crumbs and just walked away. The breaking point was Friday. Okay, so this is one of the problems. Your ideas of cleanliness and sanitation may be different, and that's one of the mistakes that you can make in living with people. The expectation that their sanitary standards are the same as yours. I don't make that assumption anymore. I do not make that assumption. Mind you, you know, with an adult, yeah. The breaking point was Friday. I was on a Zoom call with a client, door shut. The baby woke up from her nap screaming. Greg was in the living room watching a movie. He didn't even pause the movie. I had to apologize, mute myself, run out and grab the baby. When I asked him why he didn't check on her, he said, I didn't want to overstep. It made no sense and felt weird to me because my child is his niece. Well, I mean, look, honestly, I don't like children, all right? I'll just say it. I don't really like children. I don't feel comfortable with children. I just, you know, I'm not a children guy. I am not. But if a child was crying and someone was busy, I would probably go check on them. Yes. Yes, I would probably go check on them, yes. Especially if I was just watching a movie. I sat my husband down that night. I told him I'm done. I'm doing the cooking, cleaning, working full-time, and picking up after a 27-year-old man. Yeah, that sucks. I told husband he needs to talk to Greg and set ground rules. Do your own dishes, take out the trash, and maybe help with the kids if I'm working. My husband got weirdly defensive. What? Why? I gather your husband isn't doing any of the cooking, cleaning, and he's just working. That sucks. Hell, at least I do some cooking and a little bit of cleaning. Dang. I cook a lot, actually, now that I come to think about it. That's just weird. That's just weird, right? My husband got weirdly defensive. He says he can't tell Greg to do chores. Why not? Why not? What? Look, you can't just let this lady mother him because you don't want to talk to your cousin, dude. Seriously. What the hell? I do not understand this. Seriously. You've got to have that conversation. In fact, it probably should have been had before he even got there. Like, you know, look, if you're moving in with someone, you've got to talk about expectations while they're there. You know, and chores before they even get there. You know, just assuming someone is going to do certain stuff, you can't always assume that's the case. Yeah, okay, I learnt that the hard way, but you can't just assume that. You can't. His reasoning is that Greg is older than me. That's more of a reason why you got to talk to him. He's 27, I'm 26. And he's going through a hard time, and it would be humiliating for him to be bossed around in his cousin's house. He said, guys have a pride thing about this, and if he starts treating Greg like a maid, it'll destroy his confidence when he's already down. No, sir. No, it will not. Absolutely not. It will keep him doing something instead of just... He's probably depressed. Okay, so I gotta say, when my... parents died. My mother and my father died very, very close together. And I was really depressed. I was depressed, right? Like I was down. I was really, you know, in a funk. I probably let my standards slip as far as not just home, but also at work, right? Like I was turning up to work a bit late. I just couldn't get myself motivated. And you know what? A manager who I really respected, she drew me aside and said, look, you know, it's been a while after your parents died, and I get where you might be, but you've got to get back on track kind of thing. And sometimes you can't see what the jar is from the inside. You know what I mean? Like you cannot see what you are doing when you're in that state kind of thing. Like you're depressed, you're rocking up late to work. You can't see what other people see from the outside. And I appreciated that from her. It was like, yeah, absolutely. I've got to, you know, it sucks what's happened to me, but I've got to get it together, you know, because this isn't me, right? Like I'm in this funk. This isn't me. This isn't how I act professionally. And, you know, that was maybe, I think, about a month afterwards kind of thing. But I don't want to be that person, right? I don't want to be the person that, like, you know, a year after somebody dies, they're like, oh yeah, I'm still depressed about this. And, you know, it's, you have to move on. You have to get back up and, you know, and sometimes it takes somebody pointing it out to you. Sometimes it takes somebody going, hey, you may not realize it, but this is what you're doing. And, you know, I believe that you can do better. And that was how she approached it. You know, she's like, you know, we've never had a problem with you. I know that you're better than this. You know what I mean? Like, and I was. It was just when you're in that funk, sometimes it's really hard. But the important thing is I went and got help as well, right? Like I went and saw somebody. That made all the difference. So, you know, it's not a small thing, and it's hard to do. But if somebody is down, it's important to talk to them and go, look, we realize where you are, but these things that you're doing isn't great, and we've got to get you up and running again. You know, just going through that work life, you know, doing stuff balance again, right? Because when you're just sleeping till whatever and doing whatever and not do it, you know, just whatever, you're not getting back into that rhythm of life. You're not getting back into that, you know, get up, get ready, have your morning routine, go to work, come back, you know, chillax kind of thing. You need to get back up. Basically, he'd rather I suffer than make his cousin feel awkward. You know what? You know, he might feel awkward, but it depends how you frame it, right? If you go like, we want to be supportive, we can't take care of you, right? That's totally fine. I told him that was bullshit and his pride isn't my problem. That is true. That is true, but there's ways of addressing it. If you go at it like, oh, you are being such a child, you are terrible, it probably won't end well. But if you go to it like, look, we can tell that you're down, you're being real hard on yourself, but we've got to, you know, you have to get into a rhythm and start contributing to the household as a productive member of society. And, you know, Greg can do it. I believe in Greg. I said either Greg steps up or he moves out. So ultimatums, not 100% great. Not 100% great. Look, it's okay to have boundaries and say, hey, Greg has got to contribute, right? Because I will not keep cleaning up after him. That's one thing. Sort of saying, do this or do that. I don't think it's really productive. Like, you can have in the back of your mind, look, this has to end. And if that means he moves out, then that is what will happen. That's fine. But giving people ultimatums, they have a tendency to call you on it, to push it, to go, hey, yeah, you're going to throw me out? Go on, throw me out. And then nobody gets what they want. It's counterproductive. It is not useful, right? But saying to somebody, look, this has to end. Okay, so I am here to tell you that this is a boundary and we cannot have you doing this anymore. That's fine. My husband said I'm being a hostile host. No, well, you're not a host at this point. You're cohabitating at this point. How long has it been? That's the thing she hasn't said, right? Is how long it has been. I mean, the breaking. Why be so specific about the breaking point, but not how long it's been? 2 months ago. Yeah, 2 months. No. 2 months. No. 2 months. You're not being a host, right? 2 months is enough. No. After a couple of weeks, you're not really a host to that person. You are living, you know, in the same house as them. No. Nope. You are not a host. No. This does not count. No. I don't understand how hard it is for a guy to lose his independence. Well, getting his independence back isn't like relying on you to clean up after him isn't going to get his independence back, right? That's just going to make him more dependent on other people. Getting his independence back is one of those things where, hey, him contributing to the household, that is stuff that'll get him independence. Now husband is sulking and Greg is still on my couch and the vibes in the house are awful. I feel like I'm being reasonable for expecting a house guest to help. Absolutely. But husband is convinced I'm being an insensitive jerk who wants to emasculate his family member. It's not emasculating. Like, being, like, for a guy to be expected to contribute to a household is not emasculating. What's emasculating is somebody mothering him like he's a child. You know, that's emasculating. Like, we've got to... This brother, I get that he wants to, you know, he cares for him, but he's not treating him well. Like, his well-being is not going to be helped by just allowing himself to wallow in depression. Like, I get that you want to be sensitive that he's down, but that isn't good for his well-being. And coming from a secular humanist point of view, his well-being is what I'm interested in. He might not like it initially, but it is good for his well-being. Wild, right? Some things we don't really want to do, but it is good for our well-being. Was the poster right for confronting her husband about what is he? Brother-in-law? Your brother's about hubby's cousin. Okay. Look, just because he's family doesn't mean you have to treat him like a freaking child. Seriously, I don't get this. Look, there's probably better ways she could have gone about this, granted, but I don't think she's wrong. And your husband doesn't seem to, like, you know, the thing is your husband the one cleaning after this guy? No, I don't think so. He's the one that, you know, is gone to work, comes home, and everything's taken care of. I don't think he's seeing the fallout from this one. He's like, oh, well, it's no big deal because he isn't dealing with it. She is. So I really think that not the arsehole here definitely counts. And your husband, dang. Dang. Okay, what have the Redditors got to say? I think I know what they're going to say. Redditors don't have a lot of info. Does your husband work out of the house while you work from home? Does Greg have any sort of a plan, or was it ever established he would help out around the house in exchange for reduced free rent? Yeah, and this is something you really should sort of discuss before they move in, not after. Because then you can sort of say, hey, we expected you to do X, Y, and Z. That is something you really should do. So finance for rent or mortgage or whatever, and establish clear areas of responsibility around the house. So we can't treat the cousin like a maid, but a cousin can treat the wife like a maid. A maid plus plus plus. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a really good point. How galling. If he doesn't have the balls to confront the cousin, just use yours, girl, and set him straight, not the arsehole. Yeah. You know, it's tragic because she's trying to go through him because it's his cousin. But, you know, she lives there as well. She should be able to call a meeting and say, hey, I'm not doing this anymore. I've had enough. You know, this whole thing. And that's why it annoys me, this whole Christian, oh, well, the man is the head of the household. It's like, yeah, but you can't just go, well, if I approve it, it's fine. No, other people have other feelings and issues and responsibilities and everything. Stop. So it's okay for the cousin to make you into a maid. How is it not already embarrassing this dude can't even clean up his own messes? Not the arsehole. Every adult in the house needs to pull their weight. I'd suggest boycotting, to be honest. Boycotting what? Your house? Or boycotting him? Boycotting the mess, like not cleaning up after him? Look, that's really hard for people. Because if you have you expect a certain level of cleanliness, it's very hard for people to go, oh, well, I won't, I'll just let the house go to crap. Because once you do, it's really hard to clean everything up. It's like letting it go to crap. Divorce your husband. Okay, settle down, Reddit. Settle down, Reddit. I think sort of counseling could probably help them here, because I would bet that the counselor would go, listen, you need to listen to your wife on what her issues are. Wow. I think the cousin and the husband need a boot in the ass. Definitely. Well, yes and no. They definitely need encouragement to do stuff, but, this sort of, shame them is never helpful. It's never helpful. I'm a guy and your husband is full of shit. A real man would be far more concerned about being a useless parasite than he worried he is about it pride. It depends on the guy, to be honest with you. It depends on the guy, I will say. But yeah, if you're talking about what masculinity is, being able to take care of yourself and contribute would definitely be up there. Absolutely, I get it. I'm leaning everyone sucks here? Why? What did she do? Your husband cousin is more than old enough to be able to clean after himself and refrain from eating all of someone else's food. It's ridiculous that you had to hide your children's snacks from him and you expect to clean after a grown adult. Your husband is the arsehole for not backing you up and spouting BS about men and independence, like having to live with a family after losing a job. House is stressful and potentially embarrassing for women too. He should be backing you. Well, that's true, yeah. He's sort of like, oh, men need this, well, women need it too. He should be backing you and he should talk to his cousin about cleaning. Who cares if it embarrassed his cousin? The car should be embarrassed. Well, I'm not sure about that, but he definitely, this is the thing. If he is depressed, you want to encourage rather than embarrass him. You want to say, hey, you can do this. You can get, your life in order and we can help, but you've got to do it. I think you're also the arsehole in this situation because it doesn't sound like you actually spoke to the cousin about providing childcare in any form. You just assumed he'd help out on that one particular moment. I understand why he said that thought helping in that moment might be overstepping, because without a proper conversation, some people will consider it to be overstepping. Yeah, if you want him to help out with the childcare, you should have had a clear conversation about that before he moved in. Yeah, I do agree with that, but I don't think that makes her the arsehole. I just don't think so. I think it is that he's literally doing nothing and she's, fed up with it. Yeah, I don't know. No, I still think he's the arsehole. I think that she's just had enough, quite frankly. I don't think, it's not just that he didn't help with the bait. It's just he's not helping with literally anything. Yeah. So I still think it's him, to be honest with you. But that's just my opinion. Feel free to disagree. You probably will. And it's good. It's fine. It's fine. Let's see what you people have to say. Let's see. Made me think of Spaceballs. That was the intention. Absolutely. Oh, you're doing recipes? Roast the garlic in the oven, mashed up, mix it with room temperature butter, mold it in fancy shape. Oh, you're talking garlic bread. Okay. I fully support any garlic bread chat in my chat window, please. Yeah, nothing to pour from an empty vessel. Yeah, there's a few things like that, like you can't help anybody else if your spoons are empty kind of thing. Yeah. Full garlic clove, sourdough. Oh, I love sourdough. Oh, I love sourdough. Sourdough's so good. You can never have too much garlic. I support this sentiment. I support this sentiment. Americans will resort to violence before fucking communicating. Yeah, no, I get what some. I think that's a general thing as well. But do we get taught effective communication? Do we get taught that? Or do we get taught playground communication, which is, make fun of somebody until you get your way? I think it's a mixed bag. I think that maybe people have to be taught to communicate again, to say what they think and express what they mean, especially men. Yeah. Stop Stupidity says, what the you can make someone living with you clean up after themselves, especially family. What the do you like my beeping system? Okay, latex maid is coming up. I think I'll avoid that one. You shouldn't, there's a continuance from Stop Stupidity. You shouldn't have to tell someone living with you to help around the house, especially if they're living there free, unless that was the deal they made or they can't physically do it. 100% agree. 100% agree. But really, I learnt the hard way. Definitely talk about that before somebody moves in. Like what your standards of cleanliness are like, what their standards of cleanliness are like, what you expect out of chores, what they expect, and what the financial situation is going to be. And it's okay, you don't have to say, hey, everyone has to contribute equally if somebody's lost their job and stuff. I get that. But, if they've lost their job, then you should be saying, hey, there's going to be chores around the house. We expect, everyone to be up by a certain time. Just get some routine going. Put Greg on toilet duty. Maybe. Yeah, why not? She has 2 children. She doesn't need a 27-year-old child either. Yeah. The children probably do more to help, to be honest with you. They probably at least go to school and give her a break. Left-handed Jedi says, if I crash in the couch, I offer to do chores. That's just common decency. Yeah, no, I'd be in the same boat. If I couch surfed, I would absolutely be doing, the chores afterwards and cooking and things like that. But what can I say? But it's still good to talk about before you move in, like seriously. The husband is even a bigger jerk for not working with his wife to keep her happy also. Yeah. And for what it sounds like, he doesn't do much around the house either. So that sucks for her. That really sucks for her. Yep. And Stop Stupidity agrees. Yeah. I do as well. Left-handed Joe said, call doing chores as earning experience points. Then they can exchange them for food and whatnot. Well, I've looked into a couple of things like that. Like you can get some apps on your phone that try to help with ADHD by making them into games kind of thing. None of them have grabbed me, but, it's good to know that they exist. It's good to know that they exist. And how did you people vote? Posters in the right 100%. Dang, it's one of those rare 100%ers. We never get those, peeps. We never get those. It's the mythical 100%ers. Mythical 100%ers. Well, I think that'll call it. I know it's a bit of a shorter one. I do apologize, but sort of nobody came in, so it's your fault. Completely. I'm joking. I will switch over the member stream from last week to the just a public broadcast of that debate. It was over on Breakfast Tacos, and I think it went really well. I mean, it was sort of highly philosophical, but I sort of tried to make it very consumable for people, sort of explaining things or trying to explain things and sort of, not just doing jargon kind of thing. So yeah, I think it went really well, and it seemed to go really well. So yeah. MDD, no, I don't go on MDD anymore, Beamsy. I don't want anything to do with them. If they are putting on literal fascists with the moderation not holding them in check and just letting them run rampant and racist all over their channel, then I'm not interested. I'm sorry, I'm not. So nothing they're doing is interests me really. I don't really want anything to do with them. I think that it is tragic that open and honest debate with moderation has turned into dumpster fire central, and it may get them more views, it may get them more money, but it's terrible. It's terrible. I don't really want to see. I mean, the only thing that I saw, Beamsy, was Hikachu versus Andrew Wilson, and that's like, that is nightmare fuel, quite frankly. That is a you might as well be putting up Saddam Hussein versus Ted Bundy kind of thing. Like it was horrible. That's a horrible lineup for a debate. Is Daniel Hikachu versus Andrew Wilson. That is AIDS versus cancer. I mean, frigging horrible. Anyway, that'll do it for that one. Don't forget, be kind to yourself. Don't sacrifice yourself to help somebody else. If you can support them, that's fantastic. Don't sacrifice yourself for others. because they may or may not be all right, and you're definitely not going to be. So be cautious about that. You know, be realistic with what you can give out. And it's okay if you can't. It's totally okay. Totally okay. But it's nice to support people. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I always try wherever I can. But I will not sacrifice myself to save you. I'm sorry. That means, you know, one of us is in trouble and it's just me instead of you. It doesn't help human well-being in the slightest, and that's how I look at it. Be kind to others. Yeah, do support other people when you can. If it's only a little bit out of your way, yeah, absolutely. Because if you want to be supported, you've really got to support others in society. That's how it works. It's called reciprocity. It's just expect to get what you give out. Basically how it works. Anyway, thank you, STS. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it felt really good. It felt really good. So, you know, I think that there was a little bit of getting lost in the weeds, but not too much. You know, I do appreciate that we were sort of brought out of it in a couple of occasions, but it was good. It was really, really good. But thank you, STS. I really appreciate it. But do take care, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.
She